This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Where's your support here, Coach?
I can't wait to turn this over to you. Supported very well.
Toughest question, Coach. Could you give us a mic test? Would you mind?
Test 1 2 test 1 2 3 test.
That's as tough as we get.
Yeah, right.
In January. Thank you.
Do you want to test again since they moved the mic? Test 1 2 test 1 2. Everybody good?
Everybody good back there? Good? All right, guys, we're gonna start with Coach, statement, then we'll do questions, and then kind of new situation. We have three coordinators here, and we'll just have one-on-ones around the room when we're done with Coach. So we'll open it up with Coach Odo.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Number one, thank you guys for taking time to be here today. I sure appreciate it. And there are a number of things that we'll get to know each other over the years. I feel like our program is, the story will be told by what we do in the classroom, in the city, and obviously on the field. I want you guys to know that I appreciate the work that you do. I'm thankful for the ability to have conversation. I'm thankful for you guys to be able to tell our story, because there's a number of times that we see and the public sees the 3.5 hours on a Saturday on the wins and the losses, and that becomes the story. There's so much more to it than that. When you've got 105 student athletes, you've got another group of 50 or so staff members. There's a lot of times that you guys tell the story, and I'm thankful for that. And thank you for writing the story on our program. Thank you for the things that you do that will help our student athletes. You have the ability to tell the story. Everybody has got a different background. Everybody's got stories on how they ended up here. And a lot of times, the closer we can become on really showing that vision on who the person is, not just the player on a Saturday afternoon, that's so important to the success that we're going to have. So thank you for the job that you do. I know it's hard in today's times to be able to break a story or be the one that has the information before anybody else because of the world of social media. I look forward to working with each and every one of you to build the brand of UNLV football and what that will look like. I want to start with looking at how we built the staff, and that does not happen without leadership from the president, without leadership from our director of athletics and his team, because the vision has to be in alignment for that to work. And here I was so fortunate with Eric Harper and Eric Nepomuceno to put our staff together. And the things that they allowed us to do to build this staff will in turn transform our student athletes' lives. And I'm so excited about that, because the world of coaching is developing, it's mentoring, it's leading, it's teaching. And the opportunity that we had to build the staff of 10 assistant coaches, those guys that I mentioned in the athletic director's role and his team, they were vitally important at getting this staff put together, and I'm thankful for that, because it wouldn't have happened without them. You look at what I wanted as coaches to blend this team together in this organization. I think we hit at every area. Number one, I wanted great men of value and character in putting the staff together. I wanted guys that would be tremendous teachers, recruiters, and then also figures that in their student athletes' lives, they could look at them as an example of how to become better husbands, better sons, better brothers, better teammates. And I'm fortunate because we've got a group of guys that they're going to live that life every day for our student athletes. They're tremendous teachers. They've had great successes everywhere that they've been. And now blending the group together, I'm excited that we can call it our staff together. You look at the blend of offense and defense. Some guys have worked together in previous institutions. Some guys are completely new and haven't done that before. But as close as we can get together, as fast as we can do that, that will transform our program into competing and winning championships. And I'm sure excited that they're part of this first staff together. Tomorrow will be the first day that we have an opportunity to be on the road recruiting as a staff. And I'm really excited about what they're going to do on the road recruiting. We're going to be in the city of Las Vegas. Every school tomorrow will be hit by one of our staff members. I'm sure excited about that because I think there's really good football here. I think there's tremendous coaches in the city. And I think there are players and prospects and potential student athletes that can help this program take the next step in winning championships. And I think we are going to be able to sell the vision and the belief on how that's going to happen. We're going to do it based on character, on toughness, on hard work, on discipline, and the things that a student athlete wants to achieve as being a college football player, we're going to get done here. So our staff will be in the city of Vegas tomorrow. We'll have an official visit weekend this weekend, and then we'll be so excited to meet our current team Monday night with a team meeting. We start classes on Tuesday morning, and our off-season conditioning program will start as well Tuesday morning. So we're transitioning into phase one of what this team will be. We'll go the month of January and February, and then we get into a winning edge program that will go through the month of February into part of March, and then March 1st we're going to start spring practice. So you break down the calendar of 12 months into segmented times, and now it starts the huge part of the foundation of our program on work ethic. And what does that look like? And the discipline and the toughness and the structure on the habits that we're going to develop today will be on full exposure when we start playing in September. So there's a detailed plan on how we're going to do it. I'm sure excited that we've got the staff together to go do that. And I can't wait to have our student athletes on campus this weekend, Sunday night into Monday and Tuesday, and get this thing started. So with that, I'd be happy to open it up for questions. And again, thank you for being here and spending some time with us this morning.
Questions? Coach, how do you feel recruiting's gone so far?
I think up to this point, we've hit on some immediate needs that we know that we have to have done in this program. The December signing date, I believe we announced seven guys at that point that will be joining our program. We'll sign a number more in February that will join the current team. We'll have a number of guys that join us mid-year, either transfer or high school early grads, that we're sure excited about it. And I think you look at the opportunity now for a full staff to be together and really hit on the needs that we think on how to build the foundation of this program, position specific, but also trying to find the best fit and guys that want to be at UNLV and understand the opportunity that's here for them. Recruiting will be something that we spend time on every single day because it's so important that, number one, we have a great first recruiting class to try to address needs that we think that we may have within the organization. And then the relationship piece of what recruiting looks like, the relationships, building it with high school coaches, the relationships with building it across the country. I'm sure excited about it.
Coach, why was this position attractive to you, and what sales techniques did you use with your assistant coaches to get them to UNLV?
I think a number of things attracted it was attractive to me. Number one, it started with the leadership of our director of athletics and Eric Harper, because when he and I started in the conversation, I could already tell there was going to be alignment. I could tell that his vision on what this program needs to be and can be was exactly what I thought it could be and can be. I'm more excited now than I was a month ago or a month and a week ago when I got the job, because I've been able to see some of the things that I thought it could be. We're already moving in that direction. So I think it's built on opportunity. I think competing in the Mountain West Conference, the geographic location that we're in, the opportunity to sell Las Vegas, this facility, and what we have as a coaching staff, it's going to be an attractive place for a lot of student athletes across the country that want to be here. The same thing I can say for our coaching staff. I think you look at the opportunity that they feel like is here, the things, if we will do it the right way and get started foundationally, we're going to have the opportunity to grow this into a program that we feel like can win championships.
Coach, what are some of the characteristics that you look for when filling out your coaching staff?
Yeah, as I mentioned, before talking about some of them as a whole, I wanted great men. I wanted guys with character and values that would be leaders, and also tremendous teachers for our student athletes. Great mentors, role models, and then the expertise area in whether you're the quarterback's coach, an offensive coordinator, or the defensive line coach. They needed to bring value in recruiting and also the ability to schematically give us an advantage, and I think we've hit in every area for that with our assistant coaches.
When Coach Petrino left, sort of an unusual situation. What was the timeline, and how did that sort of develop from him leaving to hiring Brennan?
Yeah, I've got a lot of respect for Bobby. I hate that he was here for such a short time. I thought, honestly, that we would probably have that conversation a year from now, because I think we're going to have success. I think we will be good on offense, and I think that would have created opportunities for him. But it happens. I don't like it, but it was the hand that I was dealt. It happened really sudden. It was 5 o'clock, whatever morning that was, that it ended up, getting the news release that he told me that he had been contacted the night before. We talked through that, and he made the decision that he wanted to go ahead and take the job. And then immediately from that point, I got in touch with our current team to let them know, and then went full steam ahead on trying to find the right fit for us moving forward.
In a situation like that, I'm sure he recommended a bunch of recruits. He had a list. What do you do with the guys that he wanted, or maybe
Yeah, it's just
got verbals from?
Yeah, it's just the communication piece, and fortunately, he wasn't here long enough to really develop deep relationships with those guys. So you take that over, you get in touch with them immediately, and I think anytime in life, if there's a void of communication, negativity sets in. I mean, that's human nature. So for us and me, it's just immediately get in contact with them, let them know. Don't run from what the truth is. Just tell them what it is, what happened. And knowing that we're going to get the best coach in here for them, and we absolutely did in getting Coach Marion hired.
What did the process of finding and selecting Coach Marion look like for you?
Yeah, I've known Brennan now, just over the last couple of years, and just because of his respect nationally on what he's done offensively, what he's done recruiting, and the type of man that he is. We've had conversation before I called him after that day at previous jobs that I've been in. So I felt like I knew who he was as a person. Obviously, I knew what he was schematically and how he's been able to lead offenses. And then I've recruited against him, and I know how that's gone. So I feel like I had a really good feel for who he was as a man, as a coach, and as a recruiter. And all three of those areas hit for me, and was anxious to try to get him hired.
Coach, did you feel in your selection of Brennan Marion, especially, that Las Vegas fans want to see that explosive, fast-paced, up-tempo?
We better score some points, right? So, absolutely, you want someone that is a great leader and teacher. But I was meeting with Coach Shebas, who I think is the best special teams coordinator in all of football, yesterday, and we were installing day one of punt, and he said, punt protection and punt team. So I went in the offensive staff, and I think it's a terrific plan on the punt team. But I went into the offensive staff and I said, hey, if we don't have to punt, it's going to make this guy's job a lot easier. So anyway, it all works together. So absolutely. I mean, you got in the game of college football today, you better be able to score points. You've got to, on the other side, you've got to eliminate explosive plays. Okay, you've got to hold the scoring offenses down. You've got to be able to tackle in space. Those are all things with Coach Shear that he's done now for years and understands that. Coach Shebas on special teams, and then Coach Marion, we've talked about, we've got to score points. He understands that. We also know that we've got to play complementary football, and a lot of people lose sight of that. We're not chasing stats and points. We're chasing wins. And how does that look together? That's all three of these guys with their staffs building what it looks like for UNLV football to have success. If we win 2-0, we'll take it every time. If we win 48-45, we'll take those as well. It's about playing winning football and doing it together.
With local high school football recruiting, how do you overcome the obstacles with coaches, families, players, and when they look at UNLV, it just hasn't won consistently. So what do you go in and what do you sell? Yeah, I think we sell the relationship component of who we are as people. I think we sell the opportunity on them achieving success when they get here. You've got to do it on faith, on vision, on hope and belief. But if you continue to do those things, sell those things, and then they get on campus and can see it, they can feel it when they step on campus, and they can see it through their own eyes, now we're starting to make progress. And then at some point, those results have to follow what you're talking about. And I feel very strong with great conviction that that's going to happen. So we understand what we're talking about, what we're recruiting to, but also understand that we're not going to back down from anybody. We're going to step in and go recruit, and we're going to get kids that want to be here. We're going to get kids that have an opportunity and see the vision on the way that we see what this place can become.
Obviously, Coach Marion had when he was the OC at Howard, as we saw here, he had a distinctive offense, that go-go offense. Is that going to be fully implemented at UNLV? Is this going to be a go-go team?
Yeah, I think you'll be able to talk to him a little more specifically about that. But I think you've always, as a coach, you adjust to your personnel. You've got to be a great teacher, right? And what does our personnel look like right now? Okay, so you fit the skill set to the group that you've got. You recruit to trying to build what it's going to become. But I think defensively, and Coach Shear has been now with me a number of years. Every year we've looked a little bit different on schematically what that looks like. And I think most of that fits to the skill set of the team that you have. It'll be the same thing on offense and on kicking. We've got a philosophy that we'll never stray from on what we want to be on offense, defense, and kicking. But if it doesn't fit to the skills that you've got on your roster, it would be foolish to sit there and say, well, we're going to run this on defense. Well, what if you don't have the people to go do that? So we've got to get a really good feel for what the skill set is right now, teach and coach on the ways that we want to become, and then build what's best for this team in 2023.
Speaking on Coach Shear, you've kind of seen him all the way from back when he was playing for you at Mizzou. Why was he someone that you wanted to bring to UNLV? Yeah, I saw him long before that. He was not a very good player in high school, okay? But anyway, he grew into it. But when he was at Missouri, he overcame his coaching, and I was his direct coach and became a great player. And had he not gotten hurt, I believe this, he wouldn't be here today. He'd still be playing in the NFL. That doesn't make you a great coach. He always has had the ability to communicate. He's got a tremendous football mind, a great football IQ, but he's able to teach what he knows and implement it in a way that our kids can understand that, and then they can go play fast. And he's got a great understanding on what we will be defensively. He's seen it work. He understands the blueprint and the formula on what that looks like, consistent habits every single day, and the bottom line on how we achieve those things. And he will do a terrific job working with the defensive staff on putting together a group that is very well coached, and they play extremely hard. What's the defensive play calling situation going to look like? Who's going to be calling plays on defense? On sacks, turnovers, touchdowns by the defense, I called them. All the other stuff, it's Coach Shear. Now, I want to be. He's the defensive coordinator, and he's going to run the meetings. The defensive staff is a great group that we've put together.
I will be involved, but he's not going to look over his shoulder and think, well, I wonder what Coach Odom thinks on this. He's ready for it. He will do a heck of a job calling our defense and putting together the game plan on what that needs to look like.
Likewise, do you turn the keys of the offense over to Coach Marion?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, all three of the guys, they're going to, I'll be involved in every call and every game plan, but I believe if you hire really good people and you have trust in them, trust is a really strong word, right? It's hard to earn and very easy to lose. But I've got trust on our staff, and if not, they wouldn't be here. And so I feel really strongly about the guys that we have in coordinator and leadership roles, and they're going to do a great job on leading our football team.
You've got two holdovers from the last staff in Nate Longshore and Damon Magazu. Just what kind of appeal to keeping them around?
Well, I had a chance to meet with all the coaches that were here previously and met with them individually, and a number of things with Mags and Nate that stood out to me. They've been great since we've started working together. I really appreciate their insight on things, and also watching them connect with our student athletes. I'm really glad that they're part of our team.
Anything else? All right, thank you, everybody.
Thanks so much. Great to see you guys. Look forward to seeing you again in the future.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, Mark, do you want to bring all four up just for a shot or no?
Yeah, thanks so much. Come on real quick, fellas. Sit down or well, we'll stand up.
You've been watching breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.